oZER0, back to Ukraine and Moldova in 2024. Chapter 4, Moldova in ПРИДНІСТРОВ'Я, Moldova in Transnistria. Please take your time to read the first disclaimer, thank you. Here's the second disclaimer talking about the rules about reporting and vlogging Ukraine during martial law. And here is the last disclaimer in before certain criticism. And here is a map about all the places we'll be covered in this video. The video starts in Odesa, especially in Odesa Starosina, where I took the bus to get to Chișinău. Currently, there's still available connection between Moldova and Ukraine on the way to either Chișinău or Odesa. And yeah, in case you were wondering ever how it looks like to be on the border between these two countries and on estuary of the Dnestr, you will see a panorama like this one. Estuary of river Dnestr side, which again looks like this, that was the same afternoon of April 29th when the terror attack I mentioned in the previous video, the one who killed 4 people, injured 32 and killed a dog, happened in Odesa. So I was sort of lucky not to be in town when this event happened. A few hours later, indeed, I was approaching the outskirts of Chișinău, so the international airport, and later on I got into Chișinău city at Gara do Nord.
The raw state of Moldova. Mamma che è stato operato, raga. Porco il dio.
I have to be honest with you, it was not my very first time in Chișinău. It was the second one, it was a return therefore. But definitely it was the first time in Moldova that I found out something Polish, like this Polish freezer truck. Luckily for my booking, the view from my place looked like this. Very fantastic. And I was extremely central, close to the cathedral park. The reason why, despite being late in the afternoon, I decided to take a walk to the center. Chișinău is not a big city, so if you want to start seeing a few things already, you have enough time to start doing it. Being so central with my own booking allowed me to actually explore the most central part of the town. So, as said, the Metropolitan Cathedral of Christ Nativity, the Triumphal Arch of Chișinău, Stephen the Great's monument, and of course the famous government house of Moldova. Despite being a capital and being a late afternoon, early evening, it was very, very calm. I know that Chișinău is not possibly one of the largest capitals in all of Europe, but for being a capital I was expecting a bit more of noise. Of course, in a positive term. As I kinda said, Chișinău is a very small European capital city, which means that also the center of it is very small. Considering that I had a constrained time, I decided to go almost immediately to Gara Chișinău Centru and ask a cashier for tickets for May 1st to get to Tiraspol. Over there, I found out a very recommended Soviet mosaic, which actually looks very impressive for being a bus station. And later on, it was time for me to start approaching a place to eat. On the way to find a place to eat, I found out this Chekhov drama theater, and I also see this park of the Cathedral Park one more time. For the very next day, I have an agenda full of strange places, mosaics, and other stuff.
Chișinău gives us surprises, like this mural of a thermonuclear war done by the Soviets, whose descendants, whose legacy is now carried by Russia, who continues on threatening thermonuclear war. Yay! Oh gosh.
After we see the mural, which sadly does not represent the current views on the usage of thermonuclear weapons from Russia, it was time for me to start walking to a nearby premium famous place of Chișinău, the Chișinău State Circus. This place got notoriety because it was kind of abandoned It was an incredible building for being just a state circus one, and of course, as a symbol of Soviet architecture. For being such a recognizable place in a town like Chișinău, for especially international audience like me, it was a bit of sad to find out that this place is still, at least on the outside, not looking that great. I don't want to come to analysis of what actually went wrong in Moldova since the fall of the Soviet Union and ever since what went wrong, but seeing a place like this in such a status actually is still a bit sad.
Un giorno a Chișinău e dal circo, l'edificio del circo, che sta cadendo a pezzi letteralmente, cioè Madonna Santa di Dio, dove cazzo sono? Però indovinate chi salverà questo edificio di chiara origine sovietica? Indovinate un po', un'altra unione, l'Unione Europea!
It was also the time for me to leave this famous circus and to get back to an old place I visited in the past.
Ok, va bene.
After the circus, I decided to take a cab and go to the Palace of Culture of the Railway Operators, which is very close to the railway station of Chișinău, where in 2016 I had participated to a meeting of the student organization I was in during my university time. Many things in Moldova, in 8 years, everything remained the same. Being back to the palace, I decided to go visit a nearby railway station, knowing that there was a very famous Soviet mosaic over there.
Nice mosaic. Literally just a Ukrainian train and nothing else. Nice mosaic. Literally just a Ukrainian train and nothing else. Capital of a country, railway station.
After seeing the railway station, I decided to embark on a walk, see the nearby Cosmos Hotel, also the Liberation statue in front of the Academy of Sciences of Moldova, and close to it, the kind of looking semi-abandoned National Hotel. Afterwards, again, another quick walk until reaching the Eternity Memorial Complex, a Soviet memorial to celebrate the victory in the Second World War, which sadly looked on passing through maintenance because of possibly nearby bank holidays of May 1st and May the 9th, the so-called Victory Day. So I guess it was undergoing this sort of renovation work. The site itself, aside from this maintenance work, look pretty much well maintained. It just needed something else to probably be put to 100% fit, but overall it looked quite well.
Ah, don't worry. Fine, look at it.
But of course, I couldn't have gone to Chișinău without going to the gates of Chișinău. This 2 blocks meeting close to a very famous road in Chișinău. And yeah, apparently this is one of the symbols of a town when you look online. But yeah, besides looking like this, actually there's nothing that interesting over there. Having been completely unimpressed by the gates of Chișinău, I decided to take another cab and go to the lake Valea Morilor, which is close to the center. But first I actually want to see, close to this fancy hotel, this statue of Lenin, which I don't know why was there, and it looks like an oxymoron to be close to such a fancy hotel, but okay, I went there and saw it. And then I entered this park from this unconventional entrance. And despite all of this oxymoron, this Lake Valea Morilor actually looked quite nice. It looks like a very nice place to be, so glad to have gone there.
chiama più o meno?
Cascade Stairs. I would like to conclude my time here in Chișinău. It was quick, it was a return, and again, not so many things changed since my visit in 2016. Definitely you can realize why in certain indexes Chișinău is ranked as one of the poorest country in Europe, the capital of one of the poorest country in Europe, but that doesn't mean that the city, the people you'll find here are nice. So I would recommend you still to come to Chișinău. The very next day, indeed, I woke up at the dawn to get one of the first trolley bus, Marshrutka, to get to Tiraspol in Transnistria. And from inside, from Gara Chișinău Centru, the whole adventure started more or less like this. But Transnistria, and before starting, I would like to tell you, if you want to criticize me for having gone there and having spent €14 total, feel free to do it. I'm completely up for criticism about it. So, here we go. First, for a long time I thought the so-called border between Moldova and Transnistria was made entirely by the river Dnestr. Actually, it is not. As you'll see in few images from now, there are many checkpoints before the river Dnestr, one of the longest rivers in Europe. A river which I thought, again, was making the most of the border, but actually it just does a part of it. And once you cross it, you're knowing that you're getting into Tiraspol. And if you're getting to Tiraspol, you will see things like this heart with ПРИДНІСТРОВ'Я, or the famous local brand Sheriff, famous for football reason, of course.
The first approach to Tiraspol actually was the railway station, a very desert railway station with no trains passing by because there's no more line between Odesa and Chișinău passing through Tiraspol. And yeah, afterwards I saw this nice series of arch goes to Kirov Park and the nearby church. Here's a monument of a general of the Transnistrian War from 1990 till 1992. And nothing more. Then I started walking to the center because most of the things in the surroundings were already over. And that's where I saw for the very first time the famous Soviet canteen. Of course, I was supposed to go back there to try the local cuisine. Like it happened in Chișinău, many renovation works were happening also in Tiraspol, and many preparation also for May 9th, the Victory Day, to be prepared in town for such celebration. I also had a tiny fear of start recording material and making photos because I didn't know how actually local authorities would have reacted. Afterwards, I got this fear of mine dismissed from a local shop cashier who told me, yeah, you can do more or less whatever you want. We'll do you nothing. And yeah, I started taping many things. And yeah, I really disagree that now you can go to Odesa from Tiraspol. Yeah, things that happen with Russian invasion. The idea to go to Transnistria and Tiraspol, of course, can be redeemed as controversial. And overall, I have to say it, I just wanted to go see how actually people perceive the whole war in Ukraine there, which has been caused by Russia. Transnistria, by many, also myself, is considered a Russian puppet state. And lastly, to see if actually this place is this sort of Soviet amusement park, but in real life, which is happening to be, and it's there to be seen. And to be honest, I have many answers to this after this trip.
I honestly don't know what to say to be on the wheel, but yeah, terribles. Surprised for being high. Yeah, no weed high, but different high. I really hope they spent these 10 rubles in maintenance. I never wanted this much to just go down. Me and my stupid ideas.
This whole time on the wheel actually got me hungry, because mind that I left Chișinău very early in the morning. At 6:20 I was walking to Gara Chișinău Centru, and I tried to get to Dom Sovietov to try to make some videos from a bit of distance with a bit of concern. Later on I'll try to get it from a bit closer. And yeah, it was time for me to get to the famous canteen, but first I had to sadly pass through Hotel Russia and this post with cities pointing to, all of them in former Soviet Union. Weird. But well, it was time for Stolovka.
Let's leave a gimmick. Смачного. Wi-Fi password are the existent year of Soviet Union. Okay. Goodbye Soviet restaurant and Lenin and Stalin. And Lenin and so on. Brezhnev. What a place. We're at Transnistrian Central Bank, and here is a statue of a Transnistrian ruble with this symbol. Like every
After
great
we
tree,
noticed that Piazza Italia
there's always
also operates here
place
in
of memories,
recognized country,
not mine, but
retained to
someone
be a puppet
else's.
of Russia,
And
I decided
yes,
to continue
Piazza
on
Italia.
25th of October Street and try to approach the monument of Suvorov and the park of Catherine the Great. Like Odessa, here things about Catherine the Great aren't moved. And while approaching it, I start seeing more and more signs of the approaching 9th of May parade, which was supposed to be hosted 8 days later.
It doesn't feel to be 1st of May of 2024, wherever 1st of May of 1984. But yeah, I mean, who am I to say it? Me taping with a last generation phone and so on. Anyway, that should be the Suvorov monument, the founder of the city. So let's go there.
As you can see on the right side of the square dedicated to Suvorov, you can see these flags representing limited recognized countries which are mostly considered to be puppet of Russia, and on the left you get all the provinces of Transnistria.
Yeah, let's go to the tank. It should be there.
Next to this tank there was a teeny tiny Orthodox church which actually looked very nice in the inside, and afterwards there was a memorial of glory celebrating again the heroes and the victims of the Second World War. Over there, in front of the Transnistrian government house and in front of the monument of Lenin, I also met some foreign Western tourists with a very distinct origin because of the language they were speaking each other. And to be honest, I tried to avoid to get in contact with, despite we clearly both understood where we all came from. Not want to take a hard take, just because I would like to avoid certain conversation in certain places which might be controversial. If you proceed by this memorial of glory, you'll also find out not only the Second World War death, but also the memorial of people who died between 1990 and 1982 for the Transnistrian War, and also a Chernobyl memorial, which actually got me surprised because, yeah, of course, this was Soviet Union till 1991, but again, considering the current times, it was a bit strange to me to know it's still there.
Well, let's enjoy a party. I got a shirt from a lady in the shop, but actually I can't take a picture of the palace. I took also a quick video over there. But yeah, let's now go back and try to get to the Dnestr river. It should be somewhere there. Time to have a long walk to the Sheriff Stadium. It's gonna take a while. Here we are at the stadium of Sheriff Tiraspol, the team who made it to European football, especially Champions League. Let's try to enter. Okay. Allora, piccolo aggiornamento, l'avevo viste prima però non ci avevo fatto caso. Hanno tolto quella del Nagorno-Karabakh o Artsakh, insomma, proprio rimossa completamente. Because in Tiraspol you can find everything from this building to, well, the logo of Inter. Oh my god. Even with a mascot. Come to Love Cross. Best place. Full of Inter fans.
Another part of my trip was also to collect these composite coins, but sadly they're not available any longer. Luckily I have them from the past, so good for me. And after so many reassurances from locals that I can't take footage of local places, I actually went very close to the House of Soviets, Don Sovietov, and started taking videos and pictures without any fear. I want now to come to the second conclusion, the one about Tiraspol and Transnistria. I knew very well before coming here that this place Transnistria is controversial. I accept any criticism, especially after 3 videos where I explain somehow my return to Ukraine. A limited recognized country for many, a separatist region of Moldova for others, a Russian puppet for many others. I agree about all of these 3 definitions. A place which can be also defined as sort of in real life amusement park, depicting what could have been the Soviet Union nowadays, and to be honest, it ended up looking like a mix between Moldova and some Russian city. Despite all of this, I still think it's needed to visit, and I recommend you to give out one's opinion of what this place is and represents, especially in this current world geopolitical context. This place is full of nice, kind people beyond politics, but I also guess there are other people which are possibly not matching my ideals when it comes to politics, freedoms, and so on. Literally, I would rather say the opposite. This place is a place where apparently communism and Soviet Union survives, but with Katy Perry loud in the park, cafes, plastic coins used as souvenirs. Not so much communist nor a Soviet Union thing, to be honest. A place with a renowned football team which got to Champions League football, but also this doesn't sound that much of communist. A place with limited recognized country with a fake border patrolled by military at checkpoints. A lot can be said about this place, positively and negatively. I let you come to your own conclusion too. Of course, you can criticize. For me, it was an experience, which I don't know if I'll ever repeat. And yeah, this is Transnistria, this will be Transnistria, and this was Transnistria. A place which has been born out of a war, a place which can be defined in so many ways, a place where people are nice and other people are not nice, and a place which somehow is a strange exception on everybody's maps. Enough that captures the interest and curiosity of many peoples, especially people like me.